Everyone, if you enjoy the work we do and want to support us, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Aiden woke up suddenly to terrifying screams outside. He stepped onto the balcony just as a military helicopter roared past and crashed straight into a nearby building. Aiden was terrified. He leaned out carefully and looked down to see people running in panic. Among them was the girl who had spent the night with him. He tried to call out, but he saw her and another person pounce on an old man, tearing into him like wild animals. Shocked, Aiden stumbled back into his apartment. Suddenly, a man rushed in. It was his neighbor, Brandon, who said his roommate had gone crazy and begged Aiden to let him stay. Before Aiden could react, Brandon walked into the bathroom, holding his bleeding head. Aiden saw a wound on the back of his neck and realized something was wrong. He quickly grabbed a knife for protection. Just then, the TV cut in with breaking news. A mysterious virus had broken out in the city. Anyone bitten or scratched would be infected, turning them into cannibalistic screamers. At that moment, Brandon came out. He saw the news and quickly explained he was fine, but his eyes had already turned red. Aiden raised the knife and told Brandon to leave. Not fully transformed, Brandon finally walked out. Aiden rushed to lock the door. The next second, he heard horrible screams outside. Through the peephole, he saw the neighbors tearing Brandon apart. Aiden covered his mouth in shock and collapsed on the floor. That night, he still hadn't calmed down and drank alcohol to numb himself. Then, a text from his dad made him break down completely. Their situation was just as bad. Aiden called immediately, but no one ever answered. He realized he was on his own now. He blocked the front door with his fridge and moved his bed into the living room so he could always watch the door. He sealed the windows, not wanting the screamers to notice him, but the door was often knocked on. He never knew if it was a screamer or a person. That night, strange noises came from the bathroom. Aiden felt a chill of dread and grabbed a baseball bat. Slowly, he moved closer. A screamer had fallen through the air vent. Aiden quickly hid as the screamer limped into the living room. His heart was racing. Luckily, the screamer didn't notice him right away. Seizing the chance, Aiden sneaked up from behind and attacked carefully. It was his first time killing a screamer. He was shaken and clumsy. After regaining his composure, he dumped the body off the balcony and used a surfboard to block the bathroom vent. But the screamers weren't his only problem. Within days, the water stopped and his food ran dangerously low. Aiden was on the edge of collapse. One day, his phone finally got a signal. Excited, he checked his messages to find the last voicemail from his parents. They were gone. Aiden fell into despair and lost all will to live. He tore down the window covers and tied a rope around his neck. Just as he was about to kick the stool, something outside the window caught his eye. He turned his head in confusion to see a girl alive on the balcony across the street. Aiden couldn't believe it. He had almost killed himself in that moment of shock. Struggling, he freed himself from the rope and rushed to the window, pressing against the glass to stare at her. But soon, the girl pulled her curtains closed. Still, her appearance gave Aiden hope. For the first time, he didn't feel completely alone. That night, Aiden cleaned himself up. The next morning, he went to the balcony to greet the girl. She noticed Aiden, too. But below them, the streets were full of screamers, who were extremely sensitive to sound. The two could only communicate by writing. The girl's name was Eva. When Aiden learned she had no water, he threw a rope across and built a simple zipline to send her some water. The bottle hit the railing, and the noise attracted a screamer that crawled up the walls toward Eva. To protect her, Aiden threw another bottle. The move caught the screamer's attention, and it jumped down, charging straight at Aiden. Meanwhile, another screamer was banging on his door. Aiden was trapped from both sides. He told Eva to go back inside, shut the balcony door, and pressed his body hard against the front door. The noises outside stopped suddenly, but the danger wasn't over. The screamer had already reached the balcony. It couldn't open the door, so it rammed its head against the glass. Aiden grabbed his bat, ready to fight. The screamer broke through the glass but knocked itself out. Aiden rushed forward and beat the screamer to death on the floor. After this close call, Aiden knew staying inside meant certain death. He had to find supplies and a way out. He pushed the door open bravely. The hallway was eerily quiet, with only Brandon's corpse lying there. He bent down and picked up Brandon's keys. Then, he heard noises behind him as several screamers charged toward him. He had no time to run, so he pretended to be dead. Luckily, the screamers didn't notice him. Aiden seized the chance to unlock Brandon's apartment before they reached him. Inside the bedroom, a corpse lay on the bed. He tossed a helmet onto it, and there was no reaction. Once sure it was safe, he searched for supplies. He opened the fridge, and a rotten stench filled the air. Luckily, in the cupboard, he found peanut butter and half a bag of cookies. Aiden also discovered Brandon was a mountaineer. After rummaging around, he finally found a climbing bag under the bed. Just as he reached for the rope, he saw a pair of feet. It was a screamer. It pounced on Aiden, but he grabbed an ice axe and killed it. Then he sprinted back to his apartment. Breathless, he stripped off his clothes and checked his body for bites. Thankfully, it was just a scare. Even better, inside the bag, he found 2 walkie-talkies. That night, under the cover of darkness, Aiden sneaked downstairs, avoiding the screamers just to toss one walkie-talkie to Eva because he hadn't spoken to anyone in so long. The next morning, Eva's voice came through the walkie-talkie. The two of them talked freely for a long time, as if they had forgotten the end of the world. After a few more days, the food was almost gone. Aiden crawled into the bathroom vent, planning to search other rooms for supplies. The smell inside was awful, but it was still safer than going outside. He dropped into a random room and, after making sure it was safe, lowered his guard. In the kitchen, he found plenty of food, enough to last them a long time. Excited, he shared the good news with Eva, but she worried about his safety. Aiden told her the place was secure, with the fridge even blocking the door. Suddenly, Eva realized something was wrong. If no one lived there, why would the fridge block the door? Aiden felt a chill and turned around to see an old man behind him. After confirming they were both normal, the old man, named Edward, saw little else. He kindly offered Aiden some food and told him to take whatever he needed from the cupboards. Naive Aiden didn't know he was about to be in danger. While he was reaching for some wine, Edward suddenly attacked him from behind. In a world with scarce food, there were no such kind-hearted people. Later, Aiden woke up from unconsciousness. He opened his blurry eyes to see a screamer coming into view and was instantly terrified and wide awake. That screamer was Edward's wife. Edward loved her too much, and even after she became a screamer, he refused to give her up. He had tied her to the bed to keep her alive. Before this, his two dogs had already become her food. Until he met Aiden, his wife finally had a new meal to taste. But just then, voices came from outside. Eva was calling for Aiden on the walkie-talkie. When Edward went out to check, Aiden struggled desperately and broke free. Edward rushed back in, and Aiden pulled him forward, letting Edward become the screamer's food instead. Aiden packed his things and was about to leave when he heard Eva crying for help. Screamers had broken into her home. Aiden felt a rush of adrenaline and pushed through the screamers, running back to his apartment. He saw Eva trapped on her balcony, her home filled with screamers. Without thinking, Aiden grabbed the cloth rope and jumped down. The noise drew more screamers. On the ground, he spotted a shotgun. He picked it up and, with one shot, blew a screamer's head apart. But the gunfire attracted even more screamers. Eva quickly dropped the cloth rope, Aiden grabbed it and climbed up fast. A screamer followed right behind him. In desperation, Aiden flipped over the balcony and cut the rope, sending the screamer falling. He told Eva to jump down. She held the cloth rope and leapt, and Aiden caught her in his arms. They hugged tightly. Without resting, they rushed through the hallway, sprinting non-stop until they found a safe passage leading directly back to Aiden's place. At the door, Aiden told Eva to be ready, but as soon as he opened it, a screamer lunged at him, dragging him down the stairs. The screamer pinned him, tearing wildly. At the critical moment, Eva grabbed the ice axe and slammed it down hard. Aiden was saved, but more screamers came from the front and back. After a brutal fight, they finally broke free. Their destination was within reach. Just before they got inside, a screamer rushed them, tackling him to the floor. Eva could only watch helplessly. The screamer tried to force its way inside, but Aiden dragged it out, fighting with all his strength to protect Eva. At last, he made it back inside. Aiden told Eva not to come close to him and walked onto the balcony, ready to jump if he had been bitten. Thankfully, Aiden was lucky and wasn't infected. The two of them cried tears of relief. Outside, the howls of screamers echoed again. Aiden quickly pushed the fridge against the door, and Eva helped him. The danger wasn't over, but after everything they had faced, they had become stronger together.